Let's rewind back to 2003. GTA 3 is out, Vice City is coming, but you weren't allowed to play those games. Your parents weren't cool like that. So what did we play to fill our needs of a chaotic sandbox of death and destruction? That's right, the Simpsons Hit and Run. Upon starting the game, I was given instructions about how to go around the world by my son Bart, and I was like, I played enough games to understand what I'm doing, so I completely ignored this tutorial and accidentally kicked Marge in her crotch. Instead of apologizing to her, I got distracted quite easily by that gold coin just behind her, so I used my curiosity and tried to find where these coins led. I ended up in Flanders' garden and I found a bunker and I was like, yo, what's down there? I've never seen that before. To my surprise, I found his children locked in a bunker, which doesn't really surprise me that Flanders locks children in bunkers. He just looks like that type of guy. I then found a camera B, the spying on the town, and decided to kick that in. Then I found 2 boxes of Buzz Cola to yet again, to my surprise, there was no cola inside, but there was loads of gold coins for some reason, so I happily helped myself to those. I then returned to Marge to apologize for the earlier actions I did, but she gave me a task of replacing the dessert that somebody ate. Wasn't me.
And pick up some of that ice cream with the miniature pies in it.
Well, must have been one of our kids, probably Millhouse.
I then hopped in my pink pussy magnet and instantly ran someone over, then narrowly missed a school bus full of children. But it wasn't until I used the wrong side of the road and actually crashed into a bus of children, killing 20. But I was set to get this dessert. That was the main focus right now, not what I've just done. So that's what we did. Inside the Quickie Mart, we needed to ask a Pooh for a replacement for the dessert we asked, which then he rudely asked what we did with the dessert before, which I found extremely rude, and I won't be returning to this store anytime soon. I then picked up the dessert and then headed back to home. We then hop back in the whip, instantly run over and kill an old lady as we venture back to Marge to drop off the dessert, narrowly missing more people before killing another school child. I then returned to Marge, who, instead of thanking me for picking up the dessert that I may or may not have eaten, she tasked me with a job.
Lisa left for school without her science project. Can you get it to her?
Oh, do I have to?
You can drop it off on the way to work.
And I have to go to work?
So I grab Lisa's science project and jump back into the whip to head over onto the school before I have work. But all of a sudden, I'm racing Principal Skinner. I have so many questions about why this is happening. Like, why is he not already in the school? Like, the school has already started, but I wasn't going to let that distract me from the fact that I needed to win this race at all costs. But he plays a bit dirty and pushes me out wide, causing me to kill another family of 4 back there. But I wasn't going to let that get in the way. I wasn't going to let it stop me from winning this race. No matter what the cost, I was going to win this race. I was determined to win this race. And as you can see, I am absolutely smashing it. A bit drifty there, but that was all planned, of course. And I absolutely rinsed him to the school. I then head on over into the school, doing a victory leap to celebrate that absolute smashing of Principal Skinner. I head down the school corridor because they just let any random adult into these schools to find Lisa to hand her project. And instead of thanking me, she basically tells me that Marge needs me again before work. I'm starting to think that I'm getting hooked for a fucking mug here.
By the way, Dad, Mom called. She says she needs to talk to you at home before you go to work.
I pop back home before work again to see what Marge wants. I find out that Marge needs me to go and speak to Ned Flanders because Ned is a bit upset, a bit angry that some of his stuff has been going missing.
Greatest neighbor. I even have a mug to that effect.
So I run on over to Ned Flanders, which I did not want to do, to see what he wanted me to do about it.
So many of my possessions have disappeared. I called the police to find the culprit.
Culprit, eh?
My lawnmower, my cooler, my lawn chair, a family portrait, even Rod's inhaler. What kind of sick individual would take this stuff?
Oh no, I borrowed all of Flanders' stuff. Quick, think of an excuse to get out of here. Excuse me, I think I have to go shuck some corn.
I didn't want to get the feds involved, so I sprinted over to the car to try and find where I put all of Ned's borrowed stuff. I wasn't expecting the first one to be this close from where we started, but I nearly broke my back with braking to get that one. Thankfully, they were all pretty close together, and I had to make my way over to Barney, who was at the gas station, and no better way to mark my arrival than from putting on a little fireworks display. I explained to Barney that the cooler I got him for his birthday, which he's been using as a toilet by the way, I need it back because it's not actually his, and surprisingly, he has it on him. We grabbed the cooler box that stinks like piss and shit and make our way over to find a lawn chair. I found the lawn chair on the way back from where we just came, which made me fucking question if I was hallucinating things or not. But yes, the next one was easy to find, and we got to do this awesome stunt jump as well, which was pretty cool indeed. The next stop was at Quickie Mart again. I did say I wasn't going to come back here, but technically I'm not going in the store. This part I made a bit too harder than what it should have been. I was actually debating whether just to delete this clip and retake it because I was really embarrassed about missing that jump. But it is what it is, and we must continue now. After gathering all of Flanders' stuff, we returned to his house to give it to him. After knocking his mailbox over, we delivered the news that we've somehow found all his stuff. He then, instead of paying us with gold coins, he gives us a prayer from the Lord, in which the Lord overcomes him and starts making him shake aggressively.
Stupid Flanders getting happiness from religion.
I decide that it's basically pointless going into work now, as I spent literally 90% of the day running chores for other people, so I'm going to take some time to myself and go and explore the land of Springfield. I somehow end up actually at my workplace, and not wanting to be seen skiving, I decide the only option I had was to shoot through the center of it. Once I finally got away from my workplace, I found a car that even Richard Hammond wouldn't go near. Well, anymore that is. I wasn't going to let that distract me and decided to take it for a joyride, and sooner enough I was doing jumps without hesitation. I didn't really want to go into the school. I think I've already done enough damage to school children and school buses already today. Eventually my time in the rocket car came to an end, and I had what arguably was a worse crash than Richard Hammond, but I'll leave that for you guys to decide. I decided to call my car, which arguably is a lot safer than that rocket car. And then I decide to start cleaning up the city a bit and get rid of all these crusty advertisements, which there is a lot considering his restaurant has been closed with emergency services outside the front since day one. I decide after a while to head back home and call it a day, just in case Marge starts to ask where I am and if I've been to work or not. But yes, this was a new type of video. This is the first type of video I've done on the channel, so I want to hear your feedback on this. I want to hear if you like this sort of content. Do you want me to do more stuff like this or not? I would like to know down in the comments, guys, if this is the sort of thing that you want to see me keep doing alongside my normal stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.